Hi, Jenny Stone here from HR Shield with your HR Rescue. Each day, we get hundreds of questions from our clients and other small and mid-sized business owners about some of the most common HR issues. We figured if they have those questions, you might too. So let's provide a lifeline and share our answers to some of the most common scenarios. The rules on what kinds of travel time are and are not compensable for non-exempt employees are complex. As opposed to exempt employees, who generally receive a salary intended to compensate them for all working time, including time spent in business-related travel, non-exempt employees are often only paid for the particular hours that the law deems compensable. Failure to pay a non-exempt employee for compensable travel time can lead to both straight time and overtime pay claims. Here are 5 basic rules for calculating correct employee pay for travel time. Rule number 1. The time employees spend commuting to and from their regular place of work each day is not work time, so employers do not have to pay employees for this time. What's important about this is that it doesn't matter if the site of the first place of employment changes from day to day, and the distance doesn't matter either, except in very, very special circumstances. Rule number 2. Work time does include time spent traveling to another location for a special assignment, substantial travel for an emergency outside the normal working hours, and time spent traveling during regular work hours as part of the employee's principal job duties. Rule number 3. If an employee reports to a central location to pick up equipment before proceeding to his or her assigned work site, the time spent traveling to the central location is not work time. In this case, the travel is to the central location and falls under Rule 1, commute time to the first place of employment for that day. However, in this type of situation, the time then spent traveling from the central location to the assigned work site is work time. Rule number 4. Overnight travel and travel away from work is work time, thus requiring employers to pay travel time when it cuts across the employee's normal workday and/or requires the employee to work on weekends or days when he or she would not otherwise be required to work. For example, if the employee's hours are 9 to 5 and they are a non-exempt employee, and you have them take a 2 p.m. flight, then the travel time from their home to the airport, all the time waiting at the airport, delays, weather, and what have you, the flight time and the travel time to the hotel or wherever they're going, all becomes compensable time. If it's the same scenario, but you have the employee take a 7 p.m. flight 2 hours after the end of their normal shift of 9 to 5, then none of that time that I just explained is compensable time. That said, remember that state laws may differ from federal law, and your state may have stricter employer obligations. If an employee normally works Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and the employer is traveling on Saturday, the employer would be required to count as hours worked at the time spent traveling by the employee between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on that Saturday. If the employee's travel spans that entire normal workday time period, the employer would be required to include all that time, minus time usually given for lunch or breaks, as hours worked. As noted, if the employee actually performs work on a non-work day while he or she is traveling, the employer would need to count that time as hours worked, regardless of what time the work is performed. Rule number 5. Regular meal periods and time spent sleeping or in other leisure activities while traveling is not work time, and the employer does not have to pay the employee for this time. The federal rules regarding travel time are confusing, and the outcome depends on when the travel occurs, the purpose of the travel, and whether employees perform any work-related activities while in transit. Even the most experienced HR professionals can be tripped up by the rules, so it's advisable to consult with an experienced employment law attorney to ensure your travel time policy is compliant with federal and state law. Have an HR question you'd like answered? Leave your topic idea in the comments section below. And as always, thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and you can always email us for more information at support@hr-shield.com.